As the Premier League is now cooking. What a Saturday this was. The two biggest games of the whole Saturday, Liverpool versus Everton, which is the Merseyside derby, and Man United versus Chelsea, which was a big six game, like two big sixes playing against each other. Two biggest games of the season, of the day, both ending in a scoreline of 2-1. Of course, Liverpool winning versus Everton at Anfield, and Man United winning 2-1 versus Chelsea at Old Trafford. Bro. Now, you know what? Let's start with Liverpool first of all, and then we'll come to Man United versus Chelsea. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's get started with Liverpool versus Everton. Now, guys, the raging champions of England, Liverpool, bro, their fifth win in a row. This is like the perfect start for Liverpool if they want to win back-to-back Premier League titles. Of course, they need to do this. They need to do what they're doing. 4-2 versus Bournemouth, 3-2 versus Newcastle at St. James Park. They actually won a game versus Newcastle United in their own home, St. James Park, which is one of the most heated stadiums in England. Like, I can't even believe that how they did that. Because what I was seeing in that match is that Newcastle were dominating. But at the end of the day, Liverpool clinched the win in the last minutes of the game, which is what they're doing throughout the season right now. Last-minute winners, last-minute equalizers. Well, not actually last-minute equalizers. They haven't drew a single match yet. All wins. And all of those wins actually came in the last dying minutes or maybe the last 10 minutes or something. But that's what Liverpool are doing this season. And then after that, of course, that 1-0 win to Arsenal, that beautiful free kick from Szoboszlai, and then, of course, 1-0 win away at Burnley, that last-minute penalty, of course, from Mohamed Salah. And now a 2-1 win versus Everton. 5 wins in a row. This is the perfect start, I'm telling you. And if they continue like this, they are going to win the Premier League again, like back-to-back. They're going to do it, guys, if they continue, of course. But, guys, talking about the match. The match, of course, it's a fearsome derby. It's a derby, of course. We all know that. Liverpool versus Everton, Merseyside derby. But Liverpool kept a possession of 57 and Everton of 43. Liverpool had 11 shots, 3 on target, 9 shots and 2 on target from Everton. You can see the Liverpool actually dominated the game. But the thing is that the Premier League is a league where you might be dominating for like the first half. But in the second half, from like 60th minute or whatever, the opponent is going to start to, heat up a little bit. Because after the first half, of course, was amazing for Liverpool. It was amazing. In the 10th minute, of course, Gravenberch from that assist from Mohamed Salah, and then he just, chipped it over the keeper. It was a beautiful goal. And Gravenberch is actually performing very well this season. And then after that, in the 29th minute, Hugo Ekitike, an assist from Gravenberch. What a beautiful first touch he had. And then, just squeezed it between the defender and the goalkeeper, and then got the second goal for Liverpool. Hugo Ekitike has been amazing so far this season. I think it's 4 goals in 5 games, I think. He's been amazing. And then, of course, after that, the second half, this is when, Everton started to erupt in action. And Idrissa Gana Gueye scored that banger because there was a lot of, and the ball came to him and then he just scored it. 58th minute, and it made it 2-1. And at this point, I was starting to think that is Liverpool tactics, because Liverpool is a team that it's going to play football. But there's going to be certain times where Liverpool is not going to be playing football. They're going to be suffering. And this was the point where they were suffering. Okay? And then, of course, I need to say something about Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah hasn't had the best season so far. He has scored only 2 goals, I think, so far in the Premier League, which is not a good thing. Because last season, he was a monster. And this season, he's lacking something, which I don't know what's the problem. He is performing. I'm not saying, because he provided an assist in this match. He also provided a couple of assists in the last 4 matches. But in terms of scoring, he's not doing what he needs to do. He's not doing what he's capable of to do. So, I mean, he's lacking. Maybe the Egyptian king is going to come back, but yeah, I mean, so far he only has 2 goals. In fact, Hugo Ekitike, Cody Gakpo, they're performing a little bit better. And then, of course, we need to talk about Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, bro, I think that Liverpool have got themselves a very good player in that position, attacking midfielder Florian Wirtz. But what he was doing in the German league, he's not capable of doing that here in the Premier League. And that's the thing about the Premier League, and that's why it's the best league in the world. The Premier League is the best league in the world. No matter how you play well outside the Premier League, if you come to the Premier League, it's not a guarantee that you're going to play the same way. A lot of players came from La Liga, Serie A, I don't know which league, and then they come to the Premier League and then they underperform. So I'm not saying that Florian Wirtz is underperforming, but he's not doing the same things that he used to do in the German league, because this is the Premier League, of course. So he needs to step up the game. I think that he also realizes that this is actually way harder than the German league, just the Bundesliga. But yeah, I mean, and Liverpool were playing as a team, you know. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool, that right-hand side in defense has become more defensive. Whether if it's Conor Bradley or Jeremy Frimpong, it has become very much, defensive. Instead of just putting crosses around in the field, now it has become more like of a team, that it's a well-balanced team, okay? It has become sort of like that. But, of course, Liverpool winning the game, which is the 5th win of the season, which is a very good start, as I said. But now, guys, coming to the Man United and Chelsea game. Guys, the game just started, and Robert Sanchez, collides with Brian Boumel and gets a red card, which is absolutely the correct decision, in my opinion, from the referee, to give a red card, because that was a very bad tackle. I mean, it was a perfect goal-scoring opportunity from Boumel, and then he just wanted to chip it over the keeper and go to the side and then score. But the keeper, of course, collided with him very badly and bringing him to the ground. Of course, it was not a penalty because it was outside the box, but yeah, I mean, a red card can do a lot of things when it comes to football. And then, of course, they had to bring in Jorgensen. But I think that a lot of bad decisions were made. Estevao was taken out to bring Jorgensen. That was not a bad case. But Pedro Neto, you're removing one of the most speediest, the most quickest. Pedro Neto is a monster, you guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but that guy has a lot of pace. You just need to release him, and then he goes all the way to the goal and then provides you with a pass or whatever. You're removing a player like that. There was a lot of bad decisions made in the first half from Chelsea. A lot of bad decisions. And the first one was this, Pedro Neto. And then in the 22nd minute, Cole Palmer was also taken off. I don't know why they did this. These were stupid decisions. Now, I don't know if Cole Palmer was injured or anything. I didn't see any problem. I think he was kind of frustrated. So I think that he was not injured, okay? I think that he was, frustrated. Why is he taking me off? So those are 2 bad decisions from Chelsea. And, of course, the first bad decision was Robert Sanchez doing that foul to Brian Boumel. He didn't have to do that. Being 1-0 down is better than being one man down. This is what Enzo Maresca said in the press conference after the match, which is completely accepted, that being 1-0 down is way better than being one man down. Because if you're 1-0 down, you can come back. If you're one man down, it's going to be way harder for you to come back. So yeah, I mean, that was a very bad decision from Robert Sanchez. I mean, but anyways, guys, there was a lot of bad decisions made in the first half. But of course, Man United clinched their first goal from Bruno Fernandes, of course, which was not an offside, as we all know. Patrick Dorgu bringing it in, and then Bruno Fernandes just stretching his leg and putting it inside the net. And then after that, Casemiro was proceeded a yellow card for a foul. And then, of course, Casemiro scored in the 37th minute and assisted by Maguire, of course, that header, which he put in. And then after that, now listen, this game does not determine if Man United is back, if it's starting to play football again, or it's Ruben Amorim's job in safe hands now. It doesn't determine any of that because, of course, Chelsea had a red card, and this game was just had to be like this because it's a big game. It's a big game, and as long as I know Man United will underperform under smaller teams. But when it comes to big teams, like bring Liverpool to the table, and Man United is going to perform like never. Like you never seen them perform like that. You're going to see them like that in that game versus Liverpool or Chelsea or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the first half, I have to say that Man United actually had a very good game. They had kept possession. They scored goals. They were attacking. They were doing everything they can. Now, in the second half is where Chelsea started to erupt. Because after Casemiro actually getting another yellow card and then being sent off from that foul, which was, I think it was a foul. It was a foul because he pulled him and then he bring him to the ground. So it was a foul and it was a yellow card because of the first yellow card. That's why it was, of course, sent off. This is when the teams become more, equal. And then, of course, Trevor Chalobah in the which minute? The 80th minute from assist from Reece James. Now, this is when Chelsea started to show signs that they're going to change the game. But they weren't able to. So, as you can see from this match, Man United had their moments. But after that, they were like, parking the bus. That we're done with this 2-0 lead. So we're just going to continue like this. Okay? They were parking the bus. I was seeing the whole thing started to change because in the first half, what I was seeing, attacking football. And then there was defensive football. Now this is the mentality that they need to change. And of course, Ruben Amorim, his job, I don't think that his job is in very safe hands. I mean, there is room to improve, but this is the Premier League. If you don't improve, they're just gonna sack you. That's it. And the thing is that Ruben Amorim, since he came to Man United, he hasn't changed the formation. The formation is the same every single game. 3-4-2-1. You need to change, bro. You need to change. And the problem is that he says in every single press conference that I am not going to change my tactics. Let them do whatever they want, the Manchester board. I'm not going to change. This is the problem that he has. He has to change, bro. This is the Premier League. You need to change. This is what I'm talking about. But whatever, guys. I mean, the Saturday was amazing. 2 red cards in a single game, which is Man United and Chelsea. Beautiful game, to be honest. And then before that, of course, that Liverpool game versus Everton. Liverpool making their 5th win in a row. A perfect start to the season. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.